On today's schedule is another bike night at Bushwhackers. The last time I did a bike night, it was extremely hot. I did not feel well. The band was also struggling all night. So it was going to be an interesting one, but the weather said not today. So I did what all of us sound guys would do with the time off. I was taking a nap. And then my phone blew up. And my friends at the Personics were needing a sound guy. And that sound guy was me. So instead of taking a nap, I'm hooking up my hitch and I'm heading to U-Haul to see if they have a trailer for me. And look at that, they have plenty. Now you see that door? You don't want that door. You want the drop-down ramp. Makes a huge difference when loading in and loading out. I get asked a lot why I rent a U-Haul instead of buying a trailer. I would have to rent this U-Haul 148 times to pay for a modestly priced 5x8 trailer. The last video that I had with this trailer, my wheels kept getting stuck in here, and you guys in the comments said I should throw in a 2x4 or a piece of wood. And I have this giant pile, like we all have, of scrap wood that we're never gonna use, but today it may be all worth it. Well, this one fits nicely, but it's still got a lip. On the other side you can see, it's still a pretty big drop. I may be down, but I'm not out. I also have this disgusting pile of more fragments from other projects. Maybe this baseboard will fit a little bit better. Huh, maybe not? Actually, look at that. That's not too bad. Now I just need to mark off where it hangs over so I don't have all this extra space. Bust out my 2 sawhorses that I got for Christmas one year. Attempt to not cut my leg off. I'm a man. All right, let's check this before Tim Allen sues me. And that's actually really nice. All right, now back to loading. I'm not sure I need the distro box today, but I'm gonna take it just in case. If you've seen any of my other videos, originally I was using the Presonus CDLs, but the amps went bad and Sweetwater has replaced them. So this is going to be the first gig that I'm using them on. I'm a little nervous, to be honest, because I was using them and they would just shut off, and that makes you look super unprofessional. I absolutely love these self-retracting rhino straps. They just make my job so much easier. The other way is just awful. But I'm stacking them today, and I'll show you why I really like the U-Haul trailer. In the past, I borrowed a trailer, and this is a 5x8 trailer, but watch. Yeah. That is not going in. A lot of 5x8 trailer doors are like that. But on this U-Haul, you'll be able to see, if I wasn't such a weakling. Here we go. Look how much clearance I have. Night and day. Also, thanks for all your comments. That piece of wood actually made a huge difference. Now watch closely as I prepare the next one and see my mistake. Oh, there it is. The strap is loosening. No, this is no good. But luckily I was able to act quickly, and I'm gonna ratchet it back up real quick. How many times can I say quick, do you think? The fun part about doing gigs solo is that nobody sees these mistakes, except for all you on the internet. But the bad part is there's nobody to help you when your speakers start to fall over. I was told tonight's gig is inside, and I reviewed footage from other bands, and they used 2 18-inch subwoofers. I don't think I need that much. But again, I'd rather take it and have too much and not need it than to need it and not have it. If you're new to my channel, I keep a lot of my sound gear in my YouTube jam room area. I do play guitar with people off and on, so I reuse my rig. but I've started marking out what the cables are, so it's a lot easier to put back together. So I have front of house, I have a monitor, and I have a second monitor for when a guest is over playing. For monitors, I use these K12s that I had that used to be my main PA speakers, but I moved to the Presonus CDL 12s because I love the way they sound. Sorry buddy, it's just a sound gig. Maybe I'll take you out on the stage sometime soon. I have doubled up on a lot of my cables so I don't need to tear everything down, but I need to grab my mixer in here, which houses my IEMs and wireless microphones, and I can rent those out to bands too. But I also have a case in there that holds all my cables, power, and XLR. This is definitely a QSC power cable, so I should probably pack that. I'm probably gonna need it for the subs. I keep thinking I'm gonna use these Sheds lights, but bands don't really want to pay for lights, and it's a lot of extra work for me to try to run sound and lights at the same time. This Pro X case, or trunk, holds all my cables. Before it used to be in 4 or 5 boxes, and now it's just this one rolling case. So much easier. It's pretty heavy, but it's a lot easier to deal with. This band is all on in-ear monitors, except for one member. He's holding out. So I'm gonna be using my RCF speakers that I picked up. They were cheap, something like 400 bucks. I'd rather use these than to mar up my QSC speakers. But I don't have a bag, so I'm gonna use the QSC bag. I won't have much room, so I'm gonna use these poles that I can mount into my QSC subs and put speakers on top of. Now this is where you think, do I actually have everything I need? And the answer is always no. You always forget something. That's what's nice about having a big truck like Matt has. You can keep almost all your gear in there, so even if you think you forgot something, it's just in the truck. Time to shower and get ready. Now that I'm all fresh and clean, and I've got my cool plaid shirt on, I'm ready for the trip. This gig is a little ways out of town, about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on if I drive fast or not. And so that means I gotta take the interstate. Well, it's starting to sprinkle. Guess they made the right choice calling off bike night. Okay, wow, yeah. That was the right call. Jeez. This is Nate within the mix. We are doing our friend's band, the Lucky Sevens, again tonight.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Thomas Lake Road.
Dury, you're throwing off my groove. You should check out Nate's channel. Very informative. But we're almost to where we need to be, so let's go. But seriously, I joke, but I love watching Nate's channel. I like watching everybody's sound channel. You can learn so much just by watching somebody else's process. Well, I have arrived here at the Weekend Bar and Grill. Normally, you play down low on the pavement by the lake, but obviously it is raining, so that is not gonna work. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with. This is where they want me to set up. And it is not a very big spot. And this band has 5 people in it. I'm gonna be earning my paycheck tonight, that's for sure. I kinda have a plan, but the best thing to do in this situation is just to get to work, take everything out of the trailer, bring it inside, and hope that a plan formulates itself magically. I thought I was done for the season running my own rig, but I'm not, so I didn't buy a cargo bar, so I have to use these old crappy ratchet straps. Ugh, I'll order that when I get home, that's for sure. Now this area out here would have been perfect, but I think they're afraid the rain will start blowing in from the side, so we're going inside. You know what kind of sucks about the Pro Max phone? Is it's so big that it stretches my pants out, and then I get diaper butt. Look at that. It's terrible. I need a new phone, so I think this next time I'm gonna try the regular Pro model. Another nice thing about this U-Haul trailer is it has that rubber mat on the door. It's still a little slick with the water, but I am not gonna bust my butt on this thing. My plan, instead of pulling these out one at a time and then wheeling them across the parking lot one at a time, I'm gonna pull them out and put them close to the trailer and then try to take a couple at a time. I've done this a few times with success, but there's always a first time for some failure. Yeah, buddy. It's working like a charm. I didn't take those all the way in. I didn't want to just leave my speakers sitting out here in the parking lot to get run over or mess up somebody else's car. But seriously, this is a really cool looking venue. I've done sound out here in this area before for another band, and I've done the band I'm doing tonight down on the lower level. But this will be my first time running it inside. Alright ladies, try to contain yourself. I'm getting warm and apparently slightly out of focus. Well, I obviously am going to have to do a left and right stack. The subs are going to be too tall to put up front centered. It's unfortunate, it will create your power peaks and valleys. Is that what they call it? Putting your subs in the center is going to give you a even dispersion of the subs. But honestly, if there's walls, it's going to mess it up anyway. If you haven't had a chance, please check out my Patreon. I do have some free content, and then I have some lower tiers, and then I have some video behind the scenes stuff that I like to share. I have been getting questions sent to me via Facebook, but that's mostly my family stuff, so I don't really answer stuff on there. If you want to reach out to me and contact me, obviously the best way is to do it via YouTube or on my Patreon channel. The band has started to arrive. Mark's telling me how great of a job I'm doing. Just kidding. I don't remember what he was telling me. We like to shoot the breeze while we work. Makes the time go by a little quicker. One of the cool things about these CDLs is they sound great and they look great, but one of the worst things is they weigh 60 pounds a piece and they're very cumbersome. I do like using cases because they do keep my gear looking nicer longer, keeps them from getting bashed up, but it does take longer to get out. Now, watch me fail miserably. Oh my gosh. See what I'm telling you? Like, the grip is so wide on these. I'm trying to get that to line up. Come on, buddy, you can do it. There we go. I really try my best to lift these speakers or anything heavy with my legs. I've hurt my lower back before, and that'll put you out for months, especially when you're in an advanced age like myself. So being brand new, this pin does not want to go in there. Get in there, pin? Nope. I think I'm just gonna have to go to the other side and get this one in first. Well, it was still tough, but it's in. And there we go, success. These QSCs do hit pretty hard, so I'm gonna start with just one sub per side. Now, where am I gonna put my rack? Can't go here for the drummer. It's gonna be guitar amps or bass amps here. So I guess this is where I'm going. Now it's time to run some power. I have power coming from over by the rack, and then I have this extension cord coming from this door. I'll be running the stringer across the front so that they have places to plug in every few feet. Easy, guy. That's why you don't cross over work zones. Hey, David's here. I swear we did not plan to wear the same outfit, but boy do we look good. It's finally time, since I know where the speakers are going to be laid out, to bust out the mixer. The mixer today, of course, is the good old X32. She's been around since the Ice Age, but it still works great. Eventually, I will probably get the wing. And this little power con cable here, I made myself. You can save a lot of money, and it's really not that complicated. So here I try to plug in and I go, wait a second, none of this is right. I had it all set up backwards. That happens. Sometimes you're just not paying attention and it's real easy to mix up. I'll come back and clean these cables up, but first I just need to make sure it all works before it looks pretty. Here we go, first test of the new CDLs. I'm checking my notes app in my phone because I put down the layout number that they use on their IEMs and how it corresponds with my mixer. There are some best practices generally for mixing, but everybody does things a little bit differently. Tonight, I'm using the MyDMX Go to run my Wash FX hex lights. It's a really cool program in theory, but it disconnects all the time. I use it connected to my router and I still have problems, but it's such a cool idea. They do not have their own drum mics, so tonight I'll be using my SE Arena kit. I got these really nice clamps off of Amazon and they're not that expensive, and they have rubber padding inside. That way it doesn't scratch up his stands. We are all set up and people are starting to show up, so let's take a look at their gear. Here is the guitar player's pedal board. I've gotten some questions about this pedal. How it works is it's one mic input in, and then there's two mic outs, and they can switch and A/B them so they can only hear it and nobody else can. Here's his guitars for tonight. He's running the Ingle head tonight with no cab. Instead, it's going to be running into this attenuator. This is the main singer's pedal board. Tonight, she is rocking the pink Jet Telecaster. And of course, the best fan on the market. It can even charge your batteries. This is the other guitar player's pedal board. And he's using a Soldano, and in this case, no cab also, but it has an IR output for me. iPads always kind of stick out on stands, but his iPad is so tiny. Look at that. My hands are not very big. I mean, they're huge. I have really manly hands. And here's a look at his guitars. And I can really appreciate when bands only bring one or two guitars. It's so much easier to mix for. The bass player is using this Bassman amp into a Fender cab. And here are his basses for the night. Again, only two. But bass players don't generally have like 10 of them. And he'll be using my RCF as a monitor. And the drummer is going with a slightly smaller kit than usual tonight. And once again, I'm using the V-kick on the modern setting. Then I'll be miking underneath the hi-hat and underneath the ride, and I make sure to have those phases inverted. I'm using the V-Beat on both of the toms, and what's cool about these is the XLR plugs in at the bottom and it isn't all messy. They of course have an 8-channel snake to plug in all the drums to. Whoa, check out these racks. Which rack do you think is nicer? Wait, what are we talking about? His setup's a little smarter. He has the IEM separate, which is supposed to help it from cutting out. And of course the tip jar. Fans, you need a tip jar. You're leaving money on the table. And there it is. The gig is over and we made it. One of the biggest challenges was obviously trying to keep the noise down in a space like this. Really, you're kind of at the mercy of the drummer. So if the drummer's really loud, then you have to turn up louder to get the instruments over that. But we really didn't have that problem tonight. It was very smart of the guitar players to not bring a live amp to the stage. It made mixing it so much better and it kept the noise floor down in the room. The CDLs worked great tonight and they sounded really good. I did not have to push them for this room. We'll see if I have another gig where I have to push them to see if all my problems are solved. David wanted to make sure that I was recording the fact that he helped me. He's a good guy. He would have helped me regardless. I'm doing my check to make sure, because I'm trying to get everything out of here so they can actually close the building. I did find a toolbox that one of the band members left behind, and I found a mic stand. You know, it's kind of funny that I was just talking about how I don't like having single 18s. I bought them so that I thought maybe I'd be using just one at a time, but that never happened this entire year until this gig. So I'm glad I didn't sell them yet. If you'd like me to showcase anything in particular or dig deeper on a subject, let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to do an extra video or touch on it in another video. Alternatively, you could message me over on Patreon and be part of the discussion, and we can get a video started over there too. I'm currently working on a sound rig builder, which will give you 3 steps to build a sound rig big enough for a 5-piece band, which is really common, and it'll just be levels and it'll be equipment that I keep seeing repeated everywhere, so that you know you're not just getting garbage that the guy from Guitar Center says is good. And with that, we can close the door on another successful sound gig. Every gig has its challenges, and every time that I do one of these, I learn something new. and the weekend bar showed me what to do with a very small room. Once again, thank you so much for joining me in this video, and I will see you at the next gig.